Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we are going to paint kind of the other way that we did last time. We will still use watercolor, and I'm going to use a pigment liner, fineliner, and another way around to do watercolor painting is to sketch before you do your painting. Sometimes it's difficult to just go in with color on a white sheet and don't know which way to go. So then you can take a picture, something that you like and maybe that is already watercolored. You can borrow someone else's work to do your practice on. Then you have something to look at, and you don't need to do the composition and things like that. You can just kind of do the same thing that the other person have already done, and that way you can practice. So as we not are going to kind of sell any of our products, we are going to just play and have fun. It doesn't matter if we kind of borrow this for our own way to learn. So this is a picture from, I just printed it out from YouTube, and then to get this on my paper, I took a pen and did like this on the back of the paper. So you get gray all over where we have the print on the other side. Then you can just put it down on your paper and follow the lines so you get a pattern to kind of color in. So I thought we could try that today, and this is a really easy way to copy a picture, so you don't need to have some special paper or something like that. You don't need to press too hard, for you don't want the pattern to be seen when you have put on the watercolor, as that is transparent. So do a very light copy of your picture, and that way you can kind of do a beautiful painting even if you are not so good at sketching. I'm not good at sketching, at least not to make it look real. I can fantasy sketch, but to do a flower like this is kind of a little bit different, I think. I think it's difficult to get the right proportions to make it look like it's actually a flower from my garden. So let's paint and use the pen first. I'm going to sketch out the line with my pen first, and then we are going to put the watercolor on top of that. That way we can kind of paint in the lines and make it a lot easier to do than if we should put color first and then draw the lines. So that's a nice way to get some nice practice without getting crazy, because nothing works. So go find a picture you like and put on some gray color with your pen and copy it onto your paper. So it's time to do the part where you sketch, and I'm using a waterproof ink and you need to have that as we are going to paint the watercolor on top of this. So make sure you have a pen that is waterproof, and when you have sketched this, leave it to dry a little while before you put on the color, so you are totally sure that it doesn't leak. This time I'm using a 005 micron pen. Use what you have, but try to use one that is really thin. It's a big difference between a 05 and a 005, and it kind of makes a big difference if you have this really thin lines when you paint on top of it later. Try to not do one long line when you do the sketching. Move the pen often and kind of jump part of the line that you're doing, so it looks more like you have sketched and kind of just thrown in the pen and done a quick sketch of the flower. So don't be too neat, kind of do it quick and don't think too much. You don't need to follow the lines totally, but you have this sketch to follow, and then you can of course do some own things on this sketch. You can add some leaves. I did that, and use other colors. You can add a butterfly, maybe do a background that is really dark. So it's up to you to play however you want on these sketches to make it personal and have fun. So let's do this sketch, and then we can start to put in some nice color. Then when you have done all the outline and can see the sketch in front of you, I go in and make some marking to show the shape of the flower. You can see I'm drawing some extra pieces of lines. And I kind of do them so they follow the leaf shape. That make it more like a 3D, so you can see the shape of the flower and it looks more natural. I also put in some extra ink on places where I think it's a bit dark. Try to do darker lines on one side so it looks like the sun is falling from one side of the flower. That's also a way to make it more natural and it looks a bit more artful, should we call it that way. I will zoom in so you can see some of the work so you can see what I mean. So then it's time to go in with some water, and I'm just randomly putting in here and there. I don't put water on everything. I want part of it to be wet in wet, and part of it I will paint straight onto the dry paper. But if you have a picture, you can put the water where you can see the color is, and make sure to leave some white space. So don't do too much. It's easier to put on water further on instead of doing it now, and everything will kind of leak together. So water, but not everywhere. So I'm taking a really wet color and put it in on the parts where I earlier put the water. So it's already wet where I put the ink down, the color down. And use a lot of water. Don't go in with the really dark color, the first layer. And make sure to remember to leave white space. It's really important in watercolor that you have these white spaces. A lot of water and just some light color. I'm really careful where I put the color, and I'm light on my hand. Don't squeeze, kind of just touch the paper with the color so that you get it on the right spot. I'm doing the same with the leaves. I put water part of the leaf and on some spots on the stem, and putting in a thin layer of green color. I also put on some splatters and kind of making a little background in part of the painting. I'm dragging out some of the green by the leaf and some of the pink on the other corner. And if you feel that it's too much, just go in with the clear water on your brush and dry it off with a rag or some paper towel. I want it a little bit darker in that corner, so putting in a little bit more of the color, and then I go in with clear water again and drag it out so we don't get any hard lines. I want it soft and light. So when it has dried, I'm going in with another layer. A lot of water and a bit of darker color where I think there is shadows, to make it get some depth and look a bit more realistic. So check your reference photo and follow it and see where they have the darker parts until you are able to see it yourself. It often is kind of the light falls in from one side, and then you need to have the darker parts of it. So I'm going to do the same with the other flower. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you don't need to see me do every step the same way. But if you want, you can change the settings and take it to normal and see every step of the painting. If you need, you can always tint your painting and let the color move around. I'm doing like this, and then I'm just adding a little bit of clear water to make the color move a little bit by its own. It makes it like a natural way for the color to move. And then you can kind of help it to go where you want by adding a little bit of clear water and just touch where the color is. And if it's too much, you can soak it up with your brush and add some more clear water. So don't panic if it gets too much. Use clear water and your rag or paper and mop it up. Let your brush soak up where it's too much and add some more water to tone it down. So everything is dry again, and I have decided to add a little bit more color. So I'm taking a bit more of the pigment and make some more shapes with my brush. So these are the two paintings and the result of today's painting. I'm gonna give you a really close up. And here you can see the result of the salt that I put on, the ordinary table salt. You can see also here we have some cool dots from the salt. So sometimes it's really fun to add some different things to make the paint move and get texture. Here you can see where I put in water too early, so it was this blooming circle that wasn't what I was aiming for. But I think that I maybe can just do like this and put in a couple of more lines. It might maybe not so much focus on it. Maybe a little bit more texture on these pistils. Is it that? I think so. So I hope you have had a fun session with me. And as you can see, even if we can't sketch, we can make beautiful paintings anyway. And as always, it's not the outcome, it's how fun we had when we did it. And another thing that is a bit fun to do is to do the exact same 2 paintings in 6 months and see what have changed. If you are a beginner, I'm sure you really can see the difference in 6 months from now if you kind of practice some painting at least twice, maybe 4 times a week. So I think that was all for today, and I will see you soon again. If you have any questions, please send me an email or pop them in the comments below, and I will try to answer it as much as I can. I don't do so much kind of using terms for watercolor in the beginnings, so I'm just make sure that you paint and have fun. That's more important. So we're going to talk more about the material and the colors and the brushes further on, but for now just have fun and play with me. So see you soon again, and until next time, bye bye from Sweden.